Apologies for that. I was trying to find my apron. Hello, dear viewers. Good afternoon. Hopefully volume is good. I have my music disabled for me. Hopefully you guys can still hear it fine. Hello. CM Bear has managed to join us. Good morning. Thank you for showing up. Alrighty. Let's get this started then. Hopefully volume is good. Music volume is good as well, and I can be heard fairly alright. And there's my bear, not bear with an H, bear with an A, taking advantage of the emotes we added. This is going to be slightly confusing. I hope it's going to be okay. Right, so first things first, we're going to be cooking a dish called Transmontana style pork chunks. This is what it looks like. Hopefully people in chat can see it. I'm going to try and cover the text as much as I can because copyright. But alas, this is also the image that is what we're after here. So what is this dish? It's basically chunks of pork meat that you have marinated for a while, and then you cook with chestnuts and potatoes. Okay, we need to lower the music a little bit. Let's put it at 5%, see if that helps. Right, so we're getting the pan first, or rather, we're getting the marinade out first. And we also need a pan. Or rather, I guess you'd call this a pot, not a pan. I'm not even sure anymore. I'm just too used to the Portuguese names. This is what we're going to cook the main things in. Now let's leave that there. Now, what does this require for preparation? Not a whole lot. So you can see the pieces of meat in here. They have been kind of cubed as much as I could, and then they were practically smushed inside here into this Tupperware. But the point here is with what exactly? And to answer your question, it's quite simple. Not a whole lot. So, this is pork meat white wine for cooking, paprika, 2 cloves of garlic, and just a bay leaf. That's all I've put into here. Also, salt and MSG, because we have taste here. The recipe in the book calls for extra ingredients such as clove, though I personally do not like clove, so I tossed it out the window. Now, what are you going to use to cook this in? Well, the meat itself is going to be cooked in pork lard for extra flavor, because this is amazing, it's cheap, and it gives an extra fatty, porky taste to food. So, just open that up and get it going. This is a dish that does take a while because of the amount of liquid that you're going to have to simmer off. I'm going to be really generous here because I don't want anything to burn, and I do want the meat to get a nice char to it. So, secret to cooking with fat is that you want to get as little moisture in the pan as possible. I'm not going to drain the meat with a paper towel, but you totally can if you want to. The moisture here will just naturally evaporate and leave the flavor behind. And we will be using the liquid, so don't toss it out. On the other pot, however, let's grab this tall boy, because this is the largest we had that the potatoes and chestnuts could fit into. So let's just fill it with water. Okay, that's got water in it. Remember to season your water. We don't use spoons in this house, we use hands. I'm just kidding, the spoon is there for smaller things. And now, we need a lid for this. What a mess! And let's get the heat blasting. Okay, so while we wait for that to get boiling, we're going to get started on this one. And it's been. Okay. We don't want this too hot for the time being. So let's lower it a little bit further. Okay, there we go. This is a very good example of low and slow, because this is going to take a while. I understand most people won't want to stick around, but we have chestnuts and small potatoes to boil. Also, how do you supply chestnuts? I don't know about other countries, however, you will probably have them frozen at the supermarkets. At least we over here do. This is a ½ kilo portion that I already weighed out and just left in the fridge for the time being. Yes, chestnuts. These are edible and they're really nice. We have a fairly big tradition of, in Portugal, eating them roasted. So it's a thing during fall season that they have special pots with holes at the bottom, and they're shaped like funnels with the shorter end at the top. And then they put the chestnut still with the skin and a ton of salt into it, and then roast the chestnuts at a high temperature enough that when you pull them out, they're actually slightly ashy on the outside and the skin is brittle enough that you can just peel it off with your fingers. They do get a little bit dry, but a lot of people enjoy them for the flavor, and I do think it's quite nice. Let's just leave those out for now for the time being, because yeah, I don't recall ever seeing them prepared out here. It's not something you see a lot. It's more in Mediterranean countries. For instance, in Italy, they're also quite popular, as well as hazelnuts and other kinds of nuts, such as almonds. We in Portugal use just about everything. Hazelnuts are a bit of a delicacy. Almonds are quite popular, especially now in Easter. The chocolate almonds, I personally sell them, as some of you know. But yeah, they're quite nice. For chestnuts, it's usually during fall only. Unless you get them frozen from the supermarket, then you can find them all year round. That's how I got a hold of mine. Now, the lard is already going. It's starting to smoke a little bit, so let's put it to low. And let's get this closer, and we'll start getting the meat in. Remember, you're trying to get as little moisture in as possible. Ideally, also cloves of garlic out. Let it drip a little bit. Squeeze it if you need to. Another half a clove of garlic out, please. Thank you. Now it's starting to spray me quite a bit. I'm not personally too scared. I know it's going to hurt if I just put my hand over here because I'm going to get sprayed with hot oil or the equivalent. That's completely fine though. I just got hit in the face. As long as I don't get hit in the eyes, I will be fine. Also, CM Bear, thank you for all this. The community is extremely happy with the ball, quite honestly. A lot of people are hyped. Some of the changes have, some of the announcements have mixed feelings, but the vast majority, they seem quite happy. Okay, let's turn up the heat a little bit now that we got more meat in. Trying to be careful to not get this on. Now, if you have like professional equipment, you could just, well, I'm not saying professional equipment, just something that I personally lack in my kitchen, which is a tray with a rack. I could go out and buy one, but I don't feel like it'd be justified, because I don't bake often enough to feel like that would be a thing. But I would need it at least. Look at that. All this juice is cooking white wine in paprika. That's going to give the foundation of flavor to this dish. I'm still missing half a clove of garlic. It has to be here somewhere. I will likely find it inside of the pot later. Once I do, I will pull it out. Oh, there it is. Come here, bastard. There we go. Okay, now I can increase that. How long did you marinate it for? Recipe said 2 days, so that's what I went for. When realistically, you don't really need to have it for that long. Usually 24 hours or even 12 will be more than enough, but you will need to turn it a lot more often if you do fewer times. I did this on Thursday morning, and then I stirred again on Friday morning and haven't touched it since. So now, this is gold, pretty much. It's not a whole lot. A lot of it has been absorbed by the meat. This was originally a quarter of a liter, so 250 milliliters. I don't know how much that is in ounces. Sorry, American folks. Some of you know metric, which is good. Looking at you, Relma. Now, this is hot, so get yourself an oven mitt to hold it, because this is going to get quite hot and steamy. Let's keep going. Yep. To help things along, I'm going to lit it for the time being, just to get more juices out and increase the temperature exponentially. Now, lid. This can go in here because we don't need this anymore. And we can also go ahead and get rid of this because we're not going to use it. Unlike Boris, I do not reuse my bay leaves. Take your time, Lord. Now, we've already used this, so we can also put it away. Potatoes. Water. Now, for this dish, you can use regular larger potatoes and then dice them up. However, what I'm going with is something a little bit smaller. Something this big. And the recipe in the book does say peel. I'm not going to peel this because it's unnecessary. So what I'm going to actually do is instead score them so they can boil a little bit better and they have no issue cooking. We have to wait for this a little bit so we have time. This is going to release a lot of water. We just need to make sure that the pork is fully cooked. Also, I just remembered, the marinade has paprika as well as cayenne because I like spicy. We just need to add a touch of pepper, I think. In hindsight, no, we do have pepper already. So, small paring knife, little potatoes, just a small score so the skin doesn't break. It doesn't have to be anything amazing. You don't have to slice them open or peel them. It's just grab and score. I'm not washing these because they are already washed. I'm not sure if this kind of convenience exists in other parts of the world, but it does here, so I'm going to take full advantage of it. Get the lid open. Yeah, there we go. Let me get the exhausts running. I apologize in advance for extra noise, but such is life. Additionally, you can use stock cubes for this. I don't think it requires it. But if you want a more specific seasoning, be my guest. Oh, this one's a little bit bigger, so I'm giving it 2 scores. Let's lower that a little bit. Also, be careful with your knives, folks. On the other hand, also remember, the most dangerous thing in the kitchen is a dull knife. So you want a knife that you can easily cut with, otherwise you risk injury because suddenly you're having to hold food way too tight, and a dull knife may slide on whatever you're cooking instead of just going straight through. And that can lead to some pretty bad injuries. So now we're just going to put them back into the bag to tighten up a little bit. They're all scored. We need to wait anyway. The water isn't boiling yet. I think I added too much water, but that's fine. We got time. Okay, the meat is now cooked through, so we're going to lower this to minimum, and we're going to use about half of this now. Just pour it in carefully. A little bit more. Yeah. Okay, that's good enough. And now we leave the rest of this for later. Just need paper towel, clean it off. Okay, and our potato water is boiling. How convenient. So, I keep calling it potato water. However, we're putting the chestnuts in first because they take longer to boil. So, mitt, lid, and in these bad boys go. Careful you don't spray yourself. Hi, Tsumi. Nut water doesn't sound as appealing. Okay, I mean, that works. That's one way to go about it. Whoops. Alright. Need to give it a stir. And now we get 5 minutes going on the clock. So there we go. 5 minutes going on the clock to add the potatoes in. And afterwards, we will be including another 10 minutes of boiling-ish. 5 to 10, because the potatoes small. This, in the meantime, will be covered. You see, I was initially thinking of it, oh, it's just a touch grass meme again, and now I no longer call it touch grace, it's literally just touch grass. Because grass is good, grass is safe, and sites of grace are safe. So now the only thing we have to do left, at least for now, is unfortunately wait. There's no two ways about this, so in the meantime, we can chat a little bit. This spoon can go in the sink. We're still needing these. For some reason, the stream keeps buffering for me, even though I'm connected with cable to the router. Silly you. Oh right, I do need something from the pantry, which is the sieve. Sorry, it's called a coriander. No, colander. Hearing me uninterrupted? That's wonderful. Okay, so this is what I went to fetch, a colander. Because we're going to have to strain the nut water, as my bear so kindly put it. I forget I'm left-handed. Hey Sparta, welcome on in. Grab a seat, grab a plate, and wait in line. What else can I add to this? Let's see. We got chives and we got basil. And that's my sister. Chives and basil going in. You don't have to do this, I'm just throwing things in because I know they're good. I got too much basil. And we ran out of chives, so that goes on a chopping list. Shopping list, not chopping. My sister just came in late and she doesn't know what is in the pan, so I will recap. In here you have the pork meat that's just boiling away slowly, and in here you have the chestnuts in a rolling boil. I actually wonder if I can get the camera even closer. I probably can. So let's try and do that while avoiding a mess. Let's get this out of the way. These need to be accessible. Don't cover it fully. Otherwise, it'll just start boiling over. En agua. Let's see. It's a bit dangerous. Don't try this at home, folks. Okay. Oh, sorry. Wrong one. Okay, should be good. Let's lower you a little bit, I suppose. Okay. It's fine and dandy. Oh, wait, need to adjust this again. Never mind. Hi, Belle. We're cooking pork with potatoes and chestnuts. So, as the saying goes, the meat and potatoes. This is also, people can look at the things being cooked. It's probably a lot more exciting like this. Even though you won't be able to see fuck all because of the steam. Just take them down first. Looks meaty. It is. Now, we're at home, so of course I'm going to use the same spoon that I'm using for the meat for the chestnuts. The chestnuts are currently coming apart a little. Some of them. Now, another thing that I failed to mention is that originally I was going to do this in a cast iron Dutch oven and then stick it into the oven. However, I left it at my grandmother's place and it's still there. So, next time. I'll get it next time. The time has been up for the last 4 minutes and nobody warned me. Shame on you, chat. Shame on you. So the potatoes have to go in with some urgency. Try not to burn yourself like I just did. So now that needs another 5 minutes. Just give it a stir, let the chestnuts and potatoes get to know each other. This still has a lot of water going on, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. We do need to cook this until tender, and it has to go for a while. Though this does need to be covered, I'm sorry guys. I know you want to watch, but it just can't this time. I will make sure to try and get something. No, Belle, I don't mean titties, I mean actual chestnuts. Shame on you. Come on, Belle. Your Friday stream is over already. You can stop being horny now. This is a family-friendly environment. Also, my mom is watching. I hope. I need to figure out a way to get It's more world play, she says. Now, what do you side this dish with? Normally, you don't really side it with anything else other than itself. However, in Portugal, we do have a tendency to mix together potatoes and rice. So if you have any leftover white rice that you want to mix in with this, feel free to. There's no harm in it. Nothing is going to happen. You might get some weird looks from people from other countries, but feel free to do it. Now, this still needs to go for a little bit longer, and at the end it's going to be even longer. We still have this left to pour in. I'm not sure if I'm going to add any water or anything, probably not. Not from China? Well, I feel like that's bait. That's bait. Bad, Sparta. Bad. Also, we just hit 90 followers. Next goal is 100. I'm not sure if I can start multiple goals at the same time, but I will look into it next time. What's rustling? It's this one. Just half lit it. Anyway, I was talking about pairings. Drinks-wise, what do you want to pair this with? Usually, if you're having this at lunchtime, you'd pair this with a good old glass of red wine or sangria. It depends on what you enjoy. I personally don't like alcohol, so I have some orange juice. Actually, it's pineapple, I think. No, it's orange. Would be a bit funnier if it was pineapple, because Belle would enjoy it further. Midori sour? No, I don't like alcohol. And as far as I remember, that's alcoholic. Okay, it says the potatoes are done, so let's cover the bottle as much as possible. And now, we need to rearrange this real quick, chat. We need to put this back over here so it doesn't interfere. Hopefully it's not too bad. Let's put you here. You can look at this up. We need this lid off. And obviously turn that off. And take a hose. Pray that you don't burn yourself. Also loud noise warning. Oh, that's unfortunate. The chestnuts went on for too long. What a shame. Oh well. That is very unfortunate. Why is it draining so slow? Okay. Good. Phew, that's steamy. My glasses are... The noise got filtered nice. Let's see now. Let's lift the camera back up to point you over there. Professional camera work with local dog. Now we're gonna get this off. It is a shame that the chestnuts have unfortunately crumbled for the most part. That's sad. That makes me sad. However, they're still pretty good. Most of them are still whole. That is nice. That's so nice. Well, on the upside, oh my gosh, your little gloves. It's a bit old. It's like probably the same age as me. It's not dirty, it's literally burned. And this is just a little hand protection, I suppose. I wouldn't call this a mitt, but it's also quite old. Everything in this house is old except for the kitchen. And now, the rest of this can go in. And we're going to stir this, because that's literally all that's left to do. To check if your potatoes are cooked, stab them. And if they fall off, you can use a little bit more time, I suppose. That one's a bit big on the bigger side. But they're going to stay here for a little bit longer anyway. So now we're going to leave this here for the next 10 minutes, I think. This part didn't get talked through quite well. That's fine. Wow, rude. Talking about other streams in my stream. I'm just kidding. Here's the Midori Sour. It's green as well. Oh, kind of. It's radioactive yellow. Now, as we do, we're going to try and tidy this up a little bit. It's a little bit complicated to clean up the kitchen when I have all the wires in front of the washing machine. But let's see what we can do. We don't need this one. This plate can go. Even though it has water. Now, remember kids, these Tupperware lids do not go in the washing machine or your mom will beat you up. This, just a light rinse, and this can go in the washing machine. Probably on the top part though. Cause space. Use the sink, silly? Yes, Belle. I'm going to use the sink. I'm going to show you what the sink currently looks like. That's the space I have. I don't have a drainer. In terms of space, I have no space. This is another thing that you have to wash by hands. What else? This as well, but I'm still going to need this. This can go in the wash. This, you'd think, yeah, it can go in the wash. No, if you put knives in the washing machine, I will stab you with them. It's going to be extra painful because the blade is now dull. My company sells sinks. No, my sink is actually extremely big. It's just covered with the board. Again, don't put knives in the washing machine because it dulls the knife. And we still need this, so what's the point? However, this is now cool. This was from the potatoes and chestnuts. So we can just give this a quick rinse. Can we get closer? We can get a little bit closer. Yeah, that's fine. It won't hurt the wood. Now, chestnuts have a little bit of a tendency to get a wee bit stuck. Yeah, don't put your chef knives, or rather cooking knives, in the washing machine. Everything else is completely fine, unless it has a wooden handle or a plastic handle. So, a knife like this is fine to go in the washing machine. Unless you have like cheaper knives that have plastic handles or something like that, not putting them through the wash will lengthen their lifespan. As well as other utensils. If you have something that's stuck with glue, like we have these old school adorable butter knives that are currently coming off the handle, unfortunately, because they were washed too many times. Yeah, that sounds fine. It is fine for most smaller knives, yes. Let's get the cables out. Oops. Close that. We have 4 minutes left on the clock. Let's see how that's doing. Yep, that's sizzling away nicely. You want to get ceramic knives because you're lazy? Well, I'm going to say right now, do not. Ceramic knives are good and all, however, you drop them to the floor once and now it's gone. And also, you can't sharpen it, so what the fuck is going to do? What are you going to do with a ceramic knife that can't cut for shit? You're going to throw it in the bin. Companies sharpen it for free. Well, that's some nice companies have there. Sorry. Should I eat with a spoon? Yeah, absolutely. What I was going to say, we had a ceramic knife that was honestly cutting like shit. So might as well give people a quick guide in knife maintenance. You just got yourself a new knife, and it's really good, it's cutting really well. How do you maintain that knife? Let me get one. Okay. This one, for instance, these knives from this block are as old or older than me, they're like 30 years old. They still cut. Why? Because recently I sharpened them. Sharpening knives, so actually going to a shop and getting them professionally sharpened, or grabbing a whetstone yourself and doing it manually, is something that you should do like once a year at best. If you give them a lot of use, like you're a professional cook, or you are an enthusiast and you cook a lot, then maybe twice a year. But aside from that, there's no point in it. What you can get, which is something I own and most people should own, is this. This is a honing rod. It doesn't sharpen, it only hones the blade. So what happens is your knife, as you use it, it starts bending and warping at a microscopic level. Yeah, how do you use those? That's what I'm getting to. What this does is it straightens the edge of the knife back up. So put it here. Gordon Ramsay actually has a pretty good tutorial on how to do this. Normally, you would put it like this and then slide it down so it's as even as possible. If you got a little practice, you can just do it like this. What you do want to do is blade side down towards your fingers so you actually have more control than this. This is not good because you're going to end up putting more strength on the upper side than on the bottom. So, okay, the timer is up. Lightly lean the blade up. I'm not sure if you guys can see this. Let me swap windows so I can get closer. So, honing rod, let's see here. It's a bit difficult to explain. So this is a knife flush. You want to tilt it a little bit and then slide it down while doing a drawing motion. Now, for some people, this is an unpleasant noise. It's fine. It takes some practice. It's fine. We'll get used to it eventually. When do you should you do this? Usually before and after. I use a knife block, which is not good for knife edges because that's all we got. Thank you. But yes, I personally do them if I'm just about to use them, and also before storing them. You should be, yes. Thank you. Now, I'm going to use a plate. If you guys aren't okay with that, I don't really care. I want to eat. Now, this has been sizzling away. Oh, dear me. The chestnuts is unfortunately too far gone, because normally you roast it. So, I apologize to my sister, but it is what it is. It doesn't look appealing or like in the picture. I also forgot a fork. There is actually an upside to this, to the chestnuts just completely melting away, is that instead of big chunks, you're going to get bits of chestnut in every bite. So there's always an upside. Now, hopefully, I can demonstrate this for chat. Let's me turn on the lights. Oops. There we go. A little bit more lit up now. It does not have the best of looks right now. Completely understandable. However, let me find a piece of meat. Yeah, you can see that. It's fork tender, as they say. You can split it up with your fork. Bit of a struggle, but it is coming apart. Someone just arrived home. That's good. Hold that. No. So, no. Okay. Right. That didn't quite turn out as we wanted to. However, it's still really good. Well, gotta be more careful with camera angles next time. I apologize, folks. So now, it's time for me to go sit down and eat. And I will see you all in, say, 2 weeks again. Next time, we're going to try for a fish dish, for the most likely, at least. No, for the most part, that makes no sense. But yes. Thank you, everyone, for coming around. And I will see you all in 2 weeks. Bye!